This person didn't just break your heart, they changed something inside you forever. And the truth is, it wasn't an accident. It was a lesson you were meant to learn. You probably still remember the exact moment everything shifted. Not loudly, not dramatically, but quietly, like something sacred inside you cracked without making a sound. One day, they were your comfort, your safe place. And the next, they became the reason you questioned your worth. You replay the memories, don't you? The late-night conversations, the promises, the way they looked at you like you mattered. And then you wonder, was any of it real? But here's what no one tells you. Heartbreak isn't just about losing someone. It's about losing the version of yourself you were when you believed in them. And that's why it hurts so deeply, because you didn't just lose them. You lost the illusion, the future you imagined, the meaning you attached to their presence. But what if I told you that this pain isn't here to destroy you? What if this person, the one who hurt you the most, was actually your greatest teacher in disguise, not to punish you, but to wake you up, because hidden inside this heartbreak is a lesson that will either break you or transform you into someone you were always meant to become. You didn't fall in love with them. You fell in love with what they represented, before the pain, before the confusion. There was a story you told yourself about this person, a story where they were different, where they understood you, where they would stay. But here's the uncomfortable truth. You weren't just loving them. You were projecting your hopes, your dreams, and your emotional needs onto them. As Carl Jung once said, until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life, and you will call it fate. You saw what you wanted to see. You ignored the small signs, the inconsistencies, the moments that didn't feel right, because deep down, you needed them to be the one. Think about it. Have you ever met someone and instantly felt a deep connection, like you've known them forever? That's not always love. Sometimes it's familiarity. It's your mind recognizing patterns from your past, unhealed wounds, old emotional habits. And suddenly, this person becomes a mirror, reflecting everything you haven't resolved within yourself. That's why their absence feels unbearable, because it's not just about missing them. It's about confronting parts of yourself you were avoiding. The lesson. Not everyone you feel deeply connected to is meant to stay. Some people enter your life not to complete you, but to reveal you to yourself, why they left, and what it revealed about you. They didn't leave randomly. They left where you abandoned yourself first. You keep asking the same question, don't you? Why did they leave? Was it something you said, something you didn't do? Were you not enough? But the deeper truth is far more uncomfortable. People don't just leave relationships. They leave versions of you that no longer serve them. And sometimes they leave because you were giving too much of yourself away. Think about how you loved them. Did you ignore your own needs just to keep them happy? Did you stay silent when something hurt you? Did you shrink yourself just to be chosen? This is where the lesson begins. Because heartbreak often exposes a painful reality. You weren't just loving them, you were abandoning yourself in the process. As Friedrich Nietzsche once said, "He who has a why to live can bear almost any how." But when your why becomes another person, you lose yourself when they walk away. And that's exactly why it feels like your world collapsed, because they didn't just leave, they took your sense of identity with them. But here's the shift you need to understand. They didn't break you. They revealed where you were already fragile. They showed you the places where you were seeking validation instead of self-worth, where you were chasing love instead of embodying it. And maybe, just maybe, their leaving wasn't rejection, it was redirection, a painful push back toward yourself. because the version of you that was begging to be loved was not the version you were meant to become. Letting go isn't losing them, it's finding yourself again. You think you're trying to forget them, but what you're really trying to release is who you were with them. Letting go sounds simple, doesn't it? People say it all the time. Just move on. As if detaching from someone who meant everything to you is as easy as turning off a switch, but you know the truth. It's not them you're holding on to. It's the feeling they gave you. The way they made you feel seen, chosen, important. And now that they're gone, it feels like that version of you disappeared too. So you hold on to the memories, to the messages, to the hope that maybe, somehow, they'll come back. But here's the quiet realization that changes everything. You're not healing because you're still negotiating with the past, still replaying what-ifs in your mind, still trying to rewrite an ending that already happened. As Buddha taught, attachment is the root of suffering. And what you're feeling right now is not just heartbreak, it's attachment struggling to survive. Letting go doesn't mean you didn't love them. It means you're choosing yourself, even when it hurts. It means accepting that closure isn't something they give you. It's something you create. And slowly, painfully, you begin to shift. You stop checking their profile. You stop waiting for a message that never comes. You stop asking why, because deep down, you start to understand the version of you that needed them is no longer who you want to be. And in that moment, you're not losing them. You're finally finding yourself again. The lesson you were meant to learn. This wasn't just heartbreak. This was your awakening, at some point, quietly, almost unexpectedly. The pain begins to change. It doesn't disappear completely, but it softens. It stops controlling you, and for the first time, you don't miss them the same way anymore. You miss who you were before you forgot your own worth. That's when the real lesson reveals itself. This person didn't come into your life to stay. They came to show you something you couldn't see on your own. Your patterns, your emotional dependencies, your fear of being alone. They exposed the parts of you that were still seeking validation outside, instead of building it within, as Marcus Aurelius wrote in Meditations. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. And that's the shift. You stop blaming them. You stop blaming yourself, because now you see it clearly. It wasn't about them leaving. It was about you returning to yourself, stronger, wiser, more aware. You begin to understand that love was never meant to cost you your identity. That the right person won't require you to shrink, chase, or prove your worth. And most importantly, you realize that heartbreak wasn't the end of your story. It was the moment your real story began. So if you're still hurting, if their absence still feels heavy, understand this. You didn't lose the right person. You lost someone who couldn't meet you at your level of depth, so you could finally rise into it yourself. And one day, you'll look back at this moment, not with pain, but with gratitude, because the person who broke your heart was the same person who unknowingly helped you rebuild it, stronger than ever before. Now ask yourself, will you stay attached to what hurt you, or will you become the person this pain is trying to shape you into?